everybody, I'm your mentor Muhammad Tariq, and today we'll be picking up the topic of surveying. Right in the beginning, we'll go through the purpose of surveying in detail so that you can understand the subject in a better way and the minuteness of the subjects as well. Firstly, my first sentence about survey is that it is the backbone of civil engineering. And as we gradually move, we will find that it is really the backbone and it really serves the purpose of being a backbone for the civil engineers. So there are no ifs and buts. Accuracy is a part of engineering and you have to be very accurate in your judgment and your procedure of performing any practical or field work. Right from the past, we have been building and observing and recording the characteristics of the land as well as the distances of various points with a reference point. And this has been going on from centuries. First, it was used by the cartographers and the photogrammetrists. They typically collected and verified the data for creating a map. So this was a manual technique and they could lay out a physical land location or a map. As we have developed the procedure of surveying to know the position of the ground, we have used these for the construction purpose in designing and making engineering projects. We will start with some of the definitions of surveying as being directed by some of the excellent persons who have been involved in surveying. As we begin, the surveying is supposed to be the relative positions of point that is on the surface, below the surface or above the surface of the ground. It has a particular distance, a direction and an elevation. The knowledge of mathematics, physics, astronomy is of course very important. Then the branch of leveling deals with the elevation of the point taking up the assumed datum. Now, when we talk about a datum, it is a level which we have assumed to have a certain level. And then we have to take out the differences between 2 points. One A point somewhere next to us and a B point that is far away. We have developed the procedure of surveying to know the position of the ground. We have used these for the construction purpose in designing and making engineering projects. Along with that, land surveying, we should know the position of the ground, and this position is in reference to a certain point which could be the level or it could be a distance from a particular object. And now we'll speak about the civil engineering work. So it takes around assessing and recording the details of the land. So what are the assess details that you need? That is the level, the angle, and even it is about the contour or the surrounding topography. So what is the topography? We'll come to it just now. The survey has two similar functions, and number one, for taking out the relative horizontal position, such as in the process of mapping, and number two, it establishes and marks the control of a construction work or indicates a boundary. So the topography is the surrounding area that we are talking about. Above all, the operation should be well organized, well designed by the full teamwork. The correction should be minimum. The vertical plane. In the vertical plane, you are going to take out the majority of the elevations or the highs and lows. I will discuss this as we go on, and the purpose that it solves is for designing of bridges, canals, for irrigations, for water supply, transmission lines, road, mines, buildings, and even for boundaries. When you create your own house, you need to have a DPC level, a level at which you provide a damp-proof course in order to protect the water seepage in the rainy season inside your house. So for that purpose, that horizontal distance that is taken from a point has to be elevated or at a higher level from the nearest high flood level, or as we'll discuss in the future. So the basic object of all these measurements, that is the length, the horizontal distance and the vertical distances, is to represent it on a plan and prepare a thorough representation so that we can study the data and work according to it. This is a brief definition and an explanation that I have given you regarding surveying. I'll be giving or taking up one or two more explanations for the survey which should clarify your effects. Right from the past, we have been building and observing and recording the characteristics of the land as well as the distances of various points with a reference point. And this has been going on from centuries. First, it was used as photographers and the photogrammetrists. They typically collected and verified the data for creating a map. So this was a manual technique, and they could lay out a physical land location or a map.